Peace YouTube, Who is Sugar, back with another video. Okay, last night I posted a video about suicide prevention, and I basically spoke of a wonderful guy who committed suicide yesterday. And I posted information in the description area of the video for links online for information about suicide, phone numbers that you can contact someone if you are having suicidal thoughts, or if you feel like you may harm yourself, regardless of what that is. And so I know I was all over the place last night when I was trying to post a video, so I'm here today, although very tired because I didn't sleep well, with some clarity, and I just want to share with you all some things. First, I have the most wonderful subscribers in the whole entire planet. You guys sent me some wonderful messages and you were sharing your stories with me, and I was like, oh my God, this is, I just couldn't believe it. Okay, so I just called the suicide prevention hotline number 1-800-273-8255. I just got the phone with a wonderful young lady, and I got some information on what they do. So if you are in crisis, you can call that number. If you are depressed, you can call that number. If you need to talk, you can call that number. So for anyone out there who is listening to my voice, if you need to talk, if you're having some kind of mental health issue, you can call them. So what they do is, if a person is suicidal, they will do like a contract for safety, or if it's a situation where someone needs to be TDO'd, they will, contact someone locally. So please call that number. Once again, 1-800-273-8255. They were totally awesome. Big up to the young lady, she wants to remain anonymous, who sent me the number, and because she works there on the other end, like when a person is in crisis, she's the one who answered the phone. So I said, let me call them, because y'all know I'm nosy. So I called them, and it was wonderful. So please utilize that service if you need to. Okay, so back to the rest of the video. Okay. While I'm on the subject, for those of y'all who don't know, I work in the field of mental health. I've done all kinds of things, emergency services, going to people's homes who are in crisis, and see if they need to be TDO'd and all of that stuff. I've done all of that, okay? So I've seen situations like this a lot, where people are in crisis, they are completely hopeless, and they feel as though they have nothing else to do. They're in so much pain, and their only option, because they're irrational, is I have to kill myself because I cannot deal with this level of pain. Okay. If you are feeling that way, it is important to know that, one, you can't do it by yourself. You must seek out help from a professional. Or even if it's not a professional, you have to tell a friend, tell a family member that, hey, I feel like I'm going to harm myself. I need some help. Family members, friends, if whoever it is comes to you and says, listen, I think I'm going to kill myself, I think I'm going to harm myself, it is your responsibility to contact either like emergency services. You can dial one of the suicide prevention hotlines. It is your responsibility to say something. Do not take it as if the person is joking. You have to take it seriously. Like I tell everybody that I work with, all of my kids, the adults, when I used to work with adults, it's like, listen, there are things that I take very seriously, and I am mandated by the state to report. If you are, somebody is harming you, if you are harming someone else, or if you going to harm yourself, there are things that we have to report. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to share a little bit of a story with you. Most of the people that I know who are in the field of mental health, something has gone down in their life to kind of draw them to want to help other people. And we all have a story. I'm not going to get into all of that, but let me just say this here. Okay. This is some encouragement, honey. back in 2005, it was October. I don't know who that was. Like, I don't know who that was. Okay. Honey, see, stuff like that gets me so distracted. But y'all gonna follow where I'm going with this. Okay. So back in 2005, it was like October, late October, maybe early November of 2005. It was on a Thursday. I will never forget this day as long as I live. I made some really poor decisions, like life-altering decisions, okay? And as a result of those decisions, it kind of changed my path in life, right? Don't ask me what happened because that's neither here nor there, okay? So as a result of those poor choices that I made, I had a very difficult time with accepting the consequences of my decision, right? And I mean, it was bad. It was really, really bad. So here it is. I will never forget this day, this night. It was Thursday. I've been up all night long. I was crying. I was really, truly, truly upset. I was like, oh my God, what have I done, right? To say that I was hopeless was an understatement, right? I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I just felt like my life had completely crashed down around me and I just could not even deal. For those of you all who remember me from my website, you may have picked up on some of this stuff, but I was really good at masking what was happening. Like I would paint on a smile, leave my house, and they had no idea what was happening. So this particular night, I was done, devastated, hopeless, all of that stuff, right? Laid in my bed, which is right over here. And my first thought was, oh my God, like I don't think I can live anymore, okay? Never thought about committing suicide because I'm a punk and a chicken and all of that stuff. And I was just like, oh God, I would never take any pills. I would never get an object to injure myself. There's no way I would do anything like that. But what I did was I laid in bed and I was like, God, if you take my life right now, I think I would be okay, because I was just hurting so bad that I just could not even fathom just breathing anymore. I just could not believe it. Could not believe it, okay? So at this point, it was maybe like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I've been crying for I don't know how many hours. I cried so much that I was hoarse. I didn't even have any more tears. Like all the tears were completely gone out of my system. And I was like, this is just a really bad situation. What in the world am I going to do? Okay. So around 4 o'clock, because I remember getting up, going to the restroom, coming back, looking at my cell phone, because of course you got to check your cell phone when you stuff like that. Anyway, so I get into bed, lay back down, and I was like, God, if you take my life, I will be okay with it. God knocked me out. Literally, like I fainted. For those of you who don't know, I am a fainter. I'm one of those people that just faints. Just, it is what it is. And because I've been fainting now for a good little while, and I know why I faint, but that's neither here nor there. So because of that, I know what happens and the sensation I feel right before I'm about to go, okay? That's why I know I need to sit down if I feel like I'm about to go. Okay, that's neither here nor there. All right, so I was in the bed, and I just remember the sensation of faint just coming upon me. And I fainted in the bed, right? Woke up about an hour and a half later, because it was time for me to get up and it was time for me to go to work. And I woke up and something was different, right? I felt different. I had come to accept the situation that I was in. And I made some awesome decisions, like go to grad school and get yourself together or whatever. And I look at myself then and I look at myself now. And when I tell you that it gets better, it gets better. You have to ask for help, be it call up somebody on the line, talk to a counselor, therapist, call on God, Jesus, whoever it is that you worship, but you have to ask for help. And I'm so thankful that I'm still here. I love my life. I love my family. And for the longest, I was like, I can't believe that I was tripping, because I was tripping, y'all. I was. And I'm just so thankful to still be here. The act of suicide is very, very selfish. You cannot come back from suicide. And unfortunately, there are some people who commit suicide as like a cry for help, like I'm going to do this and then people are going to pay attention to me, and unfortunately they end up killing themselves for real because they have taken it too far. Like I said in my other video, you did not bring yourself here. You have no right to take yourself out. You don't. And it's really unfair. It's really unfair, and it makes people angry, and you just have to get help. So if you're listening to this video, watching this video, or reading my lips, or whatever it is that you do, if you are having thoughts of suicide, if you are feeling hopeless, it is important that you talk with someone and you seek out some help. There are going to be people here that are going to miss you terribly if you decide to take your life. So again, I'm going to leave information down here in the description link. Reach out for help. When someone tells you, hey, I'm going to commit suicide, I'm going to harm myself, cut myself, or whatever, please take them seriously. It is your responsibility to help them, because unfortunately, they are not rational and they cannot help themselves. They cannot see beyond the situation that they are in, but it will get better. So that is it. I'm going to figure out who this was that was calling my cellular device and see what's happening with that. But thank you once again for all of the kind words. Thank you all for sharing your stories with me, for those who have. And it is greatly appreciated. If no one has told you, I love you. And maybe bust out crying because I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. But anyway, be well, everybody. Peace.